even need the lobby. Let's switch it into game. Team Inside Only on the blue side versus Team SirKickButt. I apologize. I got that backwards. Yeah, Sir. Oh, they must be trolling me. I literally copy-pasted the name that was said in the chat. All right, so I copy-pasted the name that was said in chat and pasted it. SirKickButt. However, his name in the actual game is SirButtKick. So we're going to roll with it. That's the team name they gave me, but get ready for some tongue-tiedness because it's pretty bad. Otter, first time casting tonight, but not an amateur when it comes to casting. How are you doing tonight? Let me go ahead and get your webcam.
You don't have the heart.
Doing pretty good. I got a blizzard.
You got a blizzard. There you go, procaster.
Well, unprofessional.
This is LCS quality right here. When you got
See, Kobe was casting with his mouth on fire, and now I'm casting with my brain frozen.
There you go. That's how you keep your brain from melting. When you're getting too hot, you're getting hyped up, you got the energy.
Exactly.
Just
cool
cool down with a
blizzard.
blizzard. There you go.
Easy.
Genius. Extra thoughts. All right, here we go. Let's check out these bands. The Karthus, the Azir. They are focusing Intra so hard. Those are his two main champions. Those are the two he feels most comfortable on. He's pulled out some other secret stuff before, but they are going to be knocking those out first and foremost, as well as Yorick, because that's what they know on the other side. Whereas it's a bit more classic bands. The Lucian, the Rek'Sai, she's currently OP, and the Riven.
Nuts right now.
I'm not sure Riven is considered S tier. Definitely strong. Conqueror definitely
She's really
helps.
good with Conqueror.
Right. So it's Conqueror heavy champions, and which makes sense in the meta. It's kind of a Conqueror meta at the moment. So just ban the champions. You don't know what everyone on for the side of Inside Only is going to be picking. So ban champions to make you feel a little more comfortable yourself. Oh, DQ sponsor? Yes! Let's get sponsored by Dairy Queen. Their only good food is their chicken nuggets. The chicken fingers. Chicken fingers are good. And their blizzards are good. But
I had one of their burgers today. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, not as good as other places.
Their fries are meh, to say the least.
Oh no, those are no. Those are a weak point. We don't have to talk about those.
We don't talk about
Yeah, exactly.
Let's instead talk
Their
about
blizzards are insane. Anyway, talk about the league.
Desvelado locking in Bard blind pick. So going support blind pick isn't terrible because usually when you're picking a support, you have the rest of your team to kind of counter whatever is picked on the other side. You can generally play safe. Bard is a very interesting one, especially because he's so squishy, very, very roam dependent. As SirKickButt, as the team, is going to be locking in the Sion and the Jinx, both super strong champions. Cat locks in the Taliyah. Wait, is he doing Taliyah jungle? What are you laughing about?
Nova Jet.
Oh, that's the opposite of how you get sponsored.
He's not wrong. You're not wrong there, Nova. Oh, the replies are great. Anyway.
Dairy Queen, we love all of your food and we'll eat at your restaurant every single day if you sponsor XLNC. I'm not a sellout at all whatsoever. Mystic Warrior locking in his one trick of Katarina. Not a strong meta champion, but definitely strong in his hands considering that he's carried 1v9 before. Feels very comfortable on it. SirButtKick locking in the Blitzcrank to pair with the Jinx, which actually is pretty decent. I've seen that combo played a couple of times, played it myself one time, when you pair the hook into Jinx's Flaming Chompers. That's a nice pairing, especially if you land on a hyper squishy champion like the Bard. There's really no way for him to escape that.
Even if you don't get onto the hook straight onto the Chompers, you can hook them and then rocket punch them, and then you put the Chompers underneath them so they activate while they're midair, which works pretty well as well. I just chain CC, so you can't move from the hook, the knock-up, and then you're rooted again even longer than you were before. It's kind of similar to what you want to do with Tahm Kench if you're in Tahm Kench support with the Jinx. You eat them with Tahm Kench, put down the Chompers, and spit them into the Chompers so they basically can't do anything until after the Chomper root ends.
Genius plays there as we get into some bans. The Gladiator brothers. That's where I was going with. The Draven and the Darius banned away for the side of KickButt. They said, you know what? These guys are strong. We already have our top laner selected. What can we make his life easier with? Take away the Darius. Zed and Cassiopeia mid laners banned away from the side of Inside Only, as it's looking like Intra is going to be the mid lane player for the side of SirKickButt. So just pinch his pool even harder, make his life rougher for him.
Yeah, I like the Darius ban, actually. I think Darius is a really annoying pick for Sion to deal with, specifically. The Draven ban, I don't know if they're doing it for the memes of banning the brothers out, but I don't think with the Blitzcrank you could do a fairly well into a Draven if you can find the hooks on him. But opting for the Ezreal, which I do like this pick. It is a very strong 80 right now and does really well into Blitzcrank, where if you can E as you're getting hooked, you can basically cancel out the hook itself. So if you can play that well, he won't be in a lot of trouble in that bottom lane, especially when he's going to be on his own for quite a bit, being that 1v2 as Bard is going to try and roam, like you talked about earlier.
And that's a really nice thing. The Ezreal is one of those champions. He can be left alone. He can still farm, especially if the wave gets pushed to the enemy team turret, and then he can slowly clear it as he gets back to his own turret, give Bard time to roam, and paired with his ability to, timed correctly, arcane shift out of a Blitzcrank hook, always a feels good, as Jax gets locked in for the top lane of Inside Only. Great split pusher, decent against Sion, though that comes down to a bit more skill matchup and who starts to snowball faster than the other. Once again, no hard tanks besides Sion on either team. But I suppose Shyvana is also kind of an off tank, depending on if she goes AP or more of that, bruiser tanky route. We'll have to see as we get into game. Twisted Fate, interesting choice. Never see him. Gets picked up by Intra for the mid lane of SirKickButt.
Kind of expect the AP Shyvana to come out here with a lot of squishy members coming from the side of Team Inside Only. Being that Talia in the jungle, not having a pure tank, so she should be able to just do a lot of damage in teamfights. And then TF in the mid lane, we'll see if we can get those roams out. Gonna be rough into the Katarina if he can't find the gold cards. If he pulls a Reginald, that'd be a little difficult for him to deal with. But I do like their comp overall from SirKickButt.
Yeah, I think it's a very solid comp. They've got some pretty steady damage when it comes to the Jinx, the Twisted Fate. The main thing is going to be keeping away from the Katarina or even the Talia trying to get to the back line and blowing those carries up. Once you knock the Jinx and Twisted Fate down, it's really kind of a lineup of tanks and not that much damage brought to the table. So the key for Inside Only is make sure they stay alive, they pick and choose their time to go very carefully, and they get those carries down first. But before we get too much further in our analysis, let's run through the players and their champions. For the side of Team Inside Only, we've got Desvelato with the supportive Bard, Catinator bringing out his pocket pick, Talia, this time in the jungle, Mystic Warrior on the Katarina in the mid lane. You went to Jared, coming back, it's been a while, glad to have you, on the Ezreal and the 80 carry role, and TL Dark, new to the stream, with the Jax in the top lane.
And for the side of Team SirKickButt, we have a return playing Sion in the top lane, Vitrillion playing Jinx 80 carry, SirButtKick playing Blitzcrank as support, Coco the Doge playing Shyvana in the jungle, and Intra playing Twisted Fate in the mid lane.
So we haven't seen Shyvana in quite a while. I think she's one of those kind of secret OP champions. She's a little bit under the radar of most people, but she's incredibly strong. Just throw a tiny bit of AP on her and she can blow you up, especially once she hits post 6. Tell us a little bit though about, in this particular game, where is she going to be focusing, or what is she going to be trying to do? Farm hard till 6, gank top lane?
It might look to just hard farm until 6, and then top is gonna be rough because the Jax a lot of mobility with that Q and the counter strike. So might try and look towards the mid lane if you can find a setup with Twisted Fate's gold card, because it's fairly easy CC to land. And Katarina went for the ignite and it's not going for cleanse like we might see sometimes. Let's see where he actually decides to put his pressure. Definitely probably not going to go towards the bot lane. It's going to be hard to get gank there unless Blitzcrank lands the hook onto the Bard, or if Ezreal isn't really timing his arcane shifts correctly. That's
what I'm seeing, especially from the side of SirKickButt, is a hard 4 or 5 man pressure on the bottom side. You've got Blitzcrank and Jinx that are going to be happy with their own CC. Shyvana just comes through the jungle and is joined by Twisted Fate, ulting in from the mid lane, Sion teleporting in for the top side. You could have some pretty crazy 5-man pushes in the bottom side if the right type of fight breaks out. We'll have to see if they can get that set up. mostly from the side of inside only, I'm looking at heavy pressure from this Talia. Not only does she want to hard farm till 6, but even pre-6, she has some pretty good engage as well, and still can pull out some oppressive damage, especially in the hands of Catinator. Looking for him to be making plays maybe on this top side, as Sion is a pretty easy target to lock down as he's large and slow.
Yeah, if Talia can get some successful ganks to the top lane, that'd be where I think Cat's really going to want to look towards, because if you can get that Jax ahead, that's one of your late game threats online earlier, and if he gets ahead, it actually makes it really hard for Shyvana to even help out there. It is going to be AP Shyvana with the Dark Harvest being picked up, so we're looking to see when she hits that Dragon form, just melting any of these squishies on their team. Anybody, basically anybody in my opinion, unless Jax builds towards more tanky stats. Cat, as in Catinator, is what I meant. But yeah, across the board, I'm interested to see how the mid lane matchup goes. As pointed out before, but Katarina didn't take the cleanse, is opted for the ignite, so they're going to try and go for the damage, go for the kill. So we'll see if Intra on this Twisted Fate, known for his Karthus, but if he can get these gold cards onto that Katarina, might be able to keep himself alive, maybe put some pressure on him early. Or if he just decides to go to the bot lane or top lane to look for a roam once he hits 6, and just completely avoid his lane altogether.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 2. Team Inside Only versus Team SirKickButt. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. We shoutcast every Tuesday and Thursday night. We got team games, we got free play games, we got all sorts of craziness, and I suppose some marble games in between as well. Glad to have you. If you like it, feel free to hit that follow button so you get notified whenever we go live. And if you play League of Legends, get your in-game name in here so we can get you into one of these awesome casted games and you can have your chance to shine in the spotlight. All right, so there's a lot of pings from the side of SirKickButt as they head in, might look for a 5-man invade in the mid lane. There's pings on either side. They're not really sure which they want to go on. TF is slow to join the team. Looks like all 4 have finally decided, you know what, we're going to head towards this top side. Katarina might see them, though, in a second. No, she cut short towards that bottom side, so they don't know that all 5 members are going to be up here.
Oh, you might walk over here. There isn't anybody for them to find unless they find Katarina. They do get spotted. Oh, the flash hook!
Oh, he lands it onto the Katarina. The flash from Mystic Warrior immediately afterwards. They've gotten themselves a fancy flash, so that's a little bit for their effort, but it's flash for flash. Blitzcrank for the Katarina.
Oh, I didn't realize they changed TF's walk animation. Oh, that looks so weird. I haven't actually seen that champion been played since they changed it. Are we on the right time? 120?
Yep, we are indeed.
Okay.
I'm just typing up a tweet, so...
Already.
Almost.
So we're going to see it. Shyvana is going to start. I would like to see the bot lane of SirKickButt here fake leash the blue buff, which I think they're going to try and... Never mind, they're just going to show. I would have liked to see him fake leash, so now if they know from inside only, they know either he started drop red or raptors. There are pings onto the red buff, so they know he started up here. Don't necessarily know he started raptors because I think returned, waited there for a little bit. But now Catinator knows where he needs to be in his jungle. Have a little bit more information. I wish the bot lane would have held, then it would have left that up for the guessing of Catinator in that jungle side. Might have been able to find an early play there too. I know it is not very good for Shyvana to fight Talia early, but might have been able to surprise him in his jungle where he was lower.
There are pings from the side of inside only onto that Shyvana, so at least have some familiar idea. Mystic Warrior actually is going to see Coco the Dragon, starts chasing a little bit. Catinator around the corner, throws out a couple Qs. Coco dropped low, but no way for them to actually secure the kill. Just shoving Shyvana out of that top side. The Scuttle Crab still available for that Talia to pick up, but we do have a return on the Sion. Just kind of roaming towards that bot lane. He might get pinched between Jacks. They're going to be playing safe for the moment and just looking to get the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, not too bad. Got the Scuttle and walked out, so they has a I got that one Skull Crab. It's down a little bit of CS. I think Talia managed to pick up both buffs, which Siobhan hasn't been able to do yet. But we'll pick up that Scuttle Crab. A lot of damage onto Vertrillion in the bot lane, which is good for the Bard and Ezreal. Might allow Bard to roam a little bit sooner than he would normally want to.
Bit of a drag out of that counter-strike from TL Dark as Catinator looking to maybe make a play. Started the recall, will come in anyway, but that's a huge wave of minions up here. Return, backing away for the moment. TL Dark at half health on this Jax. He's got a lot of damage, forces out the flash from the Scion, who's just running away. But Catinator's got double buffs. All he needs is a dark, or just an auto attack. And first blood goes over to the Jax. We gotta fight in the bottom lane. The Jinx is low, but Julia gets dropped. Ezreal able to pick him off with the help of Bard. Nice finding using that minion in combination. Can they find the Blitzcrank as well? I don't think they've got the damage. SirKickButt is gonna be able to get out.
Good stuff on the bot lane. Quite surprised. I mean, Ezreal still can do some damage in the early game. As well as Jinx is a late game carry. But with that Blitzcrank, I was expecting him to find more damage early, but didn't get the CC chain that they wanted to. Bard puts out quite a bit of damage himself, so some good damage from Intra in the mid lane. But good stuff. They're getting a kill early over to Ezreal is always good, and a kill onto the Jax. I think this is what we talked about earlier, where we wanted the Catinator on this Talia to try and gank that top lane as early as he could, and maybe as often as he could if he can find another gank in the top side. Get this Jax that early lead, and make it really hard for a turn to do anything in this lane.
And that's the nice thing about Jax. Once his split push is unlocked, Scion is just going to have to just farm to keep this Jax from constantly pushing in. Look at him. TL Dark is a level above the Scion, was 2 levels up. Scion just ticked over to level 4. That's what you want to see when you're the side that is playing against the Scion, because come late game, Scion's got a massive amount of tankiness that you have to burn through to get him down. As Mystic Warrior playing aggressively on to Intra in the mid lane, gets stunned out with the gold card. Intra pretty well on point with those. As Mystic Warrior to back away. However, it's still over 10 CS lead for Mystic Warrior in the mid lane at the moment.
Okay, he's doing pretty good for himself.
Seismic shot misses.
Melee matchup.
Nothing else in that mid lane as Vertrillion, oh, it sidesteps the binding. Electrocute hits, procking a lot of damage, drops Vertrillion under 200. The Jinx is just going to immediately recall the flash from Intra. He's got to ignite as well. He's going to feel pretty good about picking up his own kill as Catinator comes in, gets shot by the turret. Intra calmly dodges out the seismic shove, has red card available. Q's going to miss, no more mana, so he's just waiting for Shyvana to gank the mid lane as well, make it a 2-for-1, a little bit easier to fight against Talia. However, she's going to just rock surf away.
I actually didn't realize this until just now, as I looked at the runes from some of the champions earlier, but Ezreal is running press the attack instead of the typical Kleptomancy that we normally see. Oh, he's trying to do a new strategy out. Oh, Catinator!
Oh, Catinator flashes forward. Doesn't even need the seismic shove because TF stuck around way too long. Should have recalled as soon as that Talia backed away. And with that Rock Surf passive, is able just to slip out of Shyvana's grasp.
Good stuff for Talia. If he can get that early advantage, I actually didn't really talk about that too much, but he can do a lot of damage if he can get some of those items under his belt.
Oh, binding
bar
down
damage
onto the Jinx on the bottom side. They're just continuing to poke Vertrillion as Ezreal is more focused on farming, which is fine, as he's wanting to keep his lead that he's got already 6 minions over this Jinx. As the top lane continue to beat each other up. I'm going to submit a request to Riot. Can we ignore top laner damage unless a kill happens in Spectator? Because this is not the first, second, or 15th time that the camera spends a lot of time focusing on the top lane when they're just beating each other up and not really doing anything.
The wet noodle fights. Oh, in the jungle though.
Catinator versus Coco, both level 5. Shyvana gets knocked back with a nice blast cone. I think she was trying to get to the other side of the blast cone to follow the Talia over. Either way, nothing much going to happen there. Just Talia shoved out. As TL Dark continue to farm up against the Scion on the top side. However, it has been evened up. We talked about the early lead that Jax built up. Scion has closed the gap.
Yeah, it's not too bad. He's only down about 400 gold, which comes a little bit from that first blood that he got. What did he? Yeah, he did get first blood. So he got the first blood, giving him that a little bit extra gold for that 1 kill advantage that he does have. But he's now down in CS. Returns doing pretty well for himself. Even in these trades, he's getting him fairly low. But that's just how the matchup really goes between Scion and Jax. Or once Jax gets him on those items, he'll just start taking him apart. But not doing too bad for himself after giving up that early kill.
So far, 3 kills to 1 at the 8-minute mark, but gold pretty much negligible between the two teams. Catenator finally hit level 6, so expect some ultimate roams to happen, especially trying to follow Intro, who's now level 8. Looks like she might be making a play in the mid lane.
Oh,
there it is, the TF ultimate drop into the bottom lane. The teleport in for the Sion. This is the 5-man gang. What a great ultimate from Bard, slows them down. Sion, choo-choo trains underneath the turret. A bind from Bard says, you're going to be going down, return to the turret shot, and ignite. TL Dark doesn't even get the kill as his auto attack is primed and ready. The Talia has surfed her way down to this bottom side, hasn't thrown out the ultimate yet, which means it's still available if they're trying to pinch someone up. It's a 4v3 at the moment. No, 4v4 on this bottom side. Catenator is at half health starting it off, though. Katarina looking for some damage. Mystic Warrior goes in on Shyvana, drops her down to about a half. Shyvana kick lands the hook onto the Katarina. In the meantime, Jax is chasing down Jinx. Shyvana ults into the middle of 3 members. The Katarina is going nuts, picks up 2 kills, and now can chase in onto Intra as well. The TF has to run. He sets up a gold card, stuns up Jax, but I don't think he's got anything else in the book. It's going to be trading 1-for-1 on the Bard, but overall victory for Team Inside Only over the course of the whole fight.
Pretty good play there. That's the picks that they wanted. It looked like it was just going to turn into a stalemate with just 4 people backing off, but Shyvana thought she had the pick there, using that ultimate to go in onto Catenator, but going through that Unraveled Earth just took a lot of damage for himself, and then the Seismic Shove onto Blitzcrank, getting himself another kill. Oh, but the wall!
Nice, Catenator ultimate, drops the wall, forcing Vetrillion into a tight spot. Gonna be dropped. Ezreal ultimate, late for the party. Didn't even need it. SirButt kick, though, stepping a bit aggressively forward off of the turret, even though there's so many members of Inside Only down here. Alright, looks like
good
everyone
stuff from Catenator. Using that Weaver's wall to just block off. It almost looked like it was all over there. They got the dragon as well, so it's just good play overall around that fight for Team Inside Only. Even pushing the lead that the top 3 members of the map have, Swallow.
So
just gonna get knocked up and run away.
2,000 gold lead for Inside Only. They got a little bit of the inside track when it comes to some of these plays, but I think a lot of it was based off of the fact that SirKickButt's engage in the bottom side didn't go quite as planned. Certainly the Sion teleported in time to get 1 kill, but then immediately got dropped himself as the Shyvana almost gets dropped in the bottom lane, and SirButt kick, he shows up just to say hi, doesn't get anything down as the Shyvana way too low to participate whatsoever.
Yeah, just huge amounts of damage from the Electrocute Bard and this Ezreal. Now having that Sheen picked up is doing some more damage with that Q. It's starting to hurt quite a bit, and especially in this early game, people don't have the HP to tank that one, but yeah, not able to find the kill there, but got out with a little bit of HP. Like to see, oh, the return? I've been in trouble here.
Ooh, immediately ultimate from return, gets a knockup.
Oh,
they got a nice stun though. DL Dark goes in, Shyvana ulting over the wall. Blitzcrank hook gonna land onto the Katarina, but maybe bringing her only to his own death as Dark tanks up the turret to chase down, finishes off SirButt kick, and that will give himself a double kill and take out 4 members. Jinx, the only one left alive. Vetrillion, what are you doing? You're gonna find yourself against Mystic Warrior. You just blast cones to safety. Catenator coming over the wall, finds the nice rock toss. Vetrillion's gone. Ace for Catenator, ace for Inside Only.
Catenator on this Talia is causing so much havoc. At the start of that fight, using that Unraveled Earth plus the Seismic Shove combo onto 2 members, plus Coco used his ulti through the Unraveled Earth again, so taking a lot of damage early in that fight and picking up so much gold for himself. Jack's now 4-0-2, and this Talia's 4-0-6. Has been a part of 10 of the 13 kills for their team.
And look at this Katarina. 9 stacks on her Magi's already. Started the game off, said, you know what? I think I'm going to do great. That's the positive mindset you want. Coco in trouble. TL Dark looking for the stun. Flashes to make sure that it lands. I think it was actually Shyvana trying to flash away. Still goes down. Catenator picks up the kill. SirButt kick here, though, trying to get the silence on the Mystic Warrior. Drops her low. The Katarina, however, it'll be dropped by the Sion. Ignite ticking away. Gets her low enough for the Sion to pick it up. And now that's the side of SirKickButt as a team, collecting up the Rift Herald and getting a little bit back for themselves.
As we praised them, I don't know if they got the time to back for the gold that they were sitting on after that fight, but good stuff there, picking up the kill onto Talia, getting that shutdown gold, return picking up 2 of those kills, and then you got shutdown gold from both of those members, the Katarina and the Talia, and also getting rid of those stacks that you talked about just a bit ago on that Magi's. bring him back down to size after they won that team fight.
Has to begin to stack all over again, but now that they have themselves a nice shiny Rift Herald to drop in the lane, they could look to pressure the mid lane, try to get that down so they can start to push forward that vision. However, they're down 4,000 gold, and that is going to turn into items eventually. You see Jax already finishing off Trinity Force, and Ezreal finishing off that Iceborne Gauntlet. I want to say Frozen Gauntlet for a moment. Ooh, Desvelato trying to make a play onto Vitrillion on the bottom side. The electrocute damage. What's the ultimate? But it actually uses it too late, and that sets Ezreal ultimate to flash on by. He still gets the kill, but weird interaction for sure as SirKickButt gets stunned up by TL Dark's Counter-Strike. He walks away, though, knowing that Blitzcrank doesn't have anything else. And Talia might actually sneak him on the backside, waiting for the seismic shove.
No.
Doesn't even need it. Just let him walk
Seismic
in.
shove.
There it is. The seismic shove just dropped him down. Cut that robot down to size. Rift Herald spawned to the top side as it's given over to the Scion, so they will get one turret and trade. No plates, though, as it is past that 14-minute mark by just a couple of seconds.
Find more damage for Canator.
Coco the Dragon trying to make a play. Ult out of the Talia and Bard's range, though. Good play over the wall. We're going to use a magical journey just to follow Coco, but good chompers from Jinx says no hold on, and a nice kill from Coco. The Q damage on that AP Shyvana. Set themselves up to get a little bit back, but they're still down 4,000 gold, and they got themselves the first turret of the game in the top lane.
And getting some advantages back. Good use of that Rift Herald while everyone else is on the other side of the map, getting himself one turret. And then in the bot side, they actually... Oh, good flash.
Good.
Desvelato.
Yeah, good flash from Desvelato. He likes to play forward aggressively. We've seen him doing this sort of stuff onto Vitrillion in the bottom lane as Jared looks to pick up the first turret for the side of inside only. Has to walk away before the minions are able to secure it. But it's only a matter of time before that turret goes down. I think it's in the teens on health. Oh, 5 health. Oh, 5 health. Come on. Come on.
And that was actually, you pointed out, I believe, that was the first turret of the game 4, or that Scion picked up in the top side. So they're getting advantages that they can after being behind early. They're still down 4k gold, which is coming through because of the lanes. But Scion's actually managed to bring him back to about 100 gold between him and the Jax.
TL Dark still going to step forward, counter-strike to Sun Up return for a moment. However, again, it's a Scion. He's super tanky. He can take this beating. He started Sunfire as well. He's not too concerned. We didn't even get to see the fight on the bottom side as Talia catches out the Shyvana. Didn't even need the Weaver's Wall. TP on the top side. Mystic Warrior says, no, you don't return. You can't escape from us. We're going to tower dive you. Drop the ultimate as well. Dash to a minion to get out. Dark, what are you doing? Woo! A little bit of a speed boost will allow him to walk away. It was a bit touch and go for a second there. TF ultimate to the top side, drops the gold card, should be lining up Dark in a moment. Needs a little bit more damage. Q misses though. CC from SirKickButt with a knock-up. Mystic Warrior drops the ignite, says, let me get my 10 stacks of my Magi Soul Stealer back up. I like Katarina's new animation where she's got double swords out. It's almost like a Naruto run. Seismic shove gonna miss onto the TF intro though. Still gets a little bit of damage back with the ignite. Mystic Warrior goes down to the turret. He gets shut down gold for his own life. That might be worth it as Jared in the mid lane gonna be jumped on by Vitrillion, but he's got Bard to defend him behind as Scion ganks to the top side with a nice charge down the lane. Vitrillion in trouble, just wants to finish off Jared, but will be dropped before that damage comes through despite Israel being out of mana. Just
good unstoppable onslaught.
Go ahead.
Yeah, continuous fights across the board. They just never seem to end. This guy there is still looking for more pressure in the jungle. Good unstoppable onslaught from return after coming back alive from that respawn timer and picking up another kill. Traded back over for their team. I think they got something going on that because that was Jax's first death of the game. So it's a lot of my trouble here. Oh no, the hook. Hook goes wide, so not going to find the kill onto Desvelato. But they need to stop the bleeding here, as Talia is now 8-2 and 6, has so much damage already. But they really don't have much control over the jungle, because he can just rock, use that passive, run around the enemy team's jungle, and find whatever picks he wants on this Shyvana.
You can start to see the side of SirKickButt. They say we've lost the early game, we got to scale, and that's why the TF picked up a Rod of Ages as Mystic Warrior goes in, gets the double, doesn't even need the wall of platform intra to try to get this done. Mystic Warrior underneath the turret, but Katarina's gonna live and walk away after Talia secures the kill. Ezreal trying to shove in under the second tier turret in the mid lane, joined by Bard. But Jax is getting free time on the top side, finishes off third turret for inside only. All exterior turrets down. They're going to move in onto the second tier turrets. Coco the Dragon left to defend this mid lane second tier until Sion joins him. I don't think these two can do that much though.
Let's see if they can stop this pressure from the Ezreal, but he has quite a bit of damage now, finishing off that Manamune and the Iceborne Gauntlets he had before, starting to really chunk with these Qs from that poke damage, but the huge amount of burst coming out of Katarina and Talia right now, those two combo for so much damage. If they aren't positioned correctly, it is lights out for any of the squishies, or really anybody on this team currently, for SirKickButt.
Baron up in less than 40 seconds, less than 50 seconds, so you know that is Team Inside Only's focus the next time they decide to group. However, SirKickButt has a little bit of time here to try to get a little bit of vision down in their own topside jungle, and maybe, just maybe, they can make a play around the Baron that will get them well back into the game, because at this point, down 8,000 gold, they're going to need a couple of plays to even begin to climb back out.
Yeah, it is going to be fairly difficult to come out of this one, especially with the fact that Ezreal and the Jax scale really well, as Talia, once she gets a couple of these more items, is going to start to spike and hit a point where she doesn't get super, or like a ton more stronger than she already does. Katarina will obviously get a lot more damage, but they'll just kind of hold out for that Jinx to get some items. Only TF, or the TF and Shyvana to get some more items. Katarina's in the jungle again.
Coco the
Not
Dragon.
allowing Coco to get anything. Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Poke the top side. Sion charge gonna come in. SirButt getting a nice silence onto two members. But the Sion ultimate's gonna miss everyone. Gatinator's finally dropped with a nice fight from Shyvana. Jax is gonna go in though, finishing off TF. They're gonna turn on to Returned. However, the Jinx Super Mega Death Rocket hits two, dropping them to about half. Desperado still trying to make the play. The flash forward from Dark. They've gotten the kill onto the Shyvana, and Mystic Warrior is just wrecking everything, walking away with no health. Returned drops and will go into his zombie passive form. Ezreal stops it in its tracks and they walk away. Now they can turn on Baron free or just have time on the turret themselves.
That was a huge Death Lotus in the middle of that fight, was just untouched and got to get free damage down. Who got the pickup? Talia, or Shyvana got the shutdown gold from the Talia.
But you can see, though, at this point in the game, when you've got a 10,000 gold lead, it's making its way known when it comes to those items and the fact that so much damage and CC can come down onto Inside Only, and yet most of their members only get dropped down to about half health, and they can still return plenty of damage themselves. They've completed 2 to 3 items for most of them, and now they're going to pick up the first Infernal Drake of the game, make that 3 Drakes for themselves. They got double Wind Drake, speeding Desperado forward, trying to land the binding onto Coco. Lawlins and Auto for the slow. That's all they need for the seismic shove to come through from Catinator, picking up a 10th kill of the game.
They are so far ahead at this point now. 11k gold lead for the side of Inside Only. Everybody in this team is doing so much damage. I don't think this is the point where it doesn't matter. You run a comp like this where you don't really have a huge frontline, like a big frontline tank, for example, the Sion or some of the other tanks around the meta right now. I'm getting interrupted by SirButt getting absolutely deleted by Catinator.
His butt was kicked when it comes to that level of damage as the press forward from Inside Only onto the inhibitor turret. Gonna start, mount, and drop that inhibitor. Dark doing what he can, playing on that front line. Catinator also playing forward aggressively. Keep in mind this Talia still has Reaver's wall. They could try to make another play forward, but they're mostly focused on this inhibitor at the moment.
Mystic just takes out the Shyvana.
Dashing in, and there is the damage from mostly Catinator. Nice seismic shove once again to set things up, dropping the Scion down. They're just picking them apart. No massive play. Most of that was off of Mystic Warrior's initial dash forward. SirKickButt has respawned. We'll go forward, land the knockup and the hook onto Catinator. Jumps once more. Jinx gets the kill credit. They're going to try to chase inside only out of the base. Katarina goes back in though. Goes godlike. In the meantime, TF dies underneath his own turret. Mystic Warrior says, I'll clean up the rest of the team though. Double kill the Jax because Dark didn't want to be left out when it came to the kill participation and overall kills. Everyone almost getting double digits when it comes to the kills except the 4 bottom lane. And 36 kills to 10 inside only. Having pretty much an unstoppable lead at this point.
Even the Ezreal is just doing so much damage to the members of this team. This is the one time feels bad to be a bot laner when everybody just, you have Assassin in the mid lane, Jax in the top lane is getting all the kills taken away from you. 6 assists, Ezreal feels bad, man. Feels Xeno man, that's what it should be.
Oh, it's definitely feels Xeno and feels bad, man. Side of inside only now can freely take away the Drake. There is a ward on the Drake, but it's gonna spawn out shortly. It's gonna time out shortly. And actually, I'm curious now. Okay, so they do get vision that everyone is here for just a moment before the ward goes away. Baron started up by inside only. SirKickButt. Shyvana around the corner. Coco the Dragon. Can he steal it away? Drops the control. He's got vision. The Baron under 5,000 health. SirKickButt here as well. Oh, no, well, Shyvana's not here. SirKickButt sunned up. Goes golden out of his own volition. That'll be Bard setting that one up. Returned as well.
Stun.
Gonna get stunned. And it looks like inside only says, you know what? They can't steal the Baron away if they're all dead. We'll take them down one at a time. Zombie form Scion. No, he can't. Katarina actually secures it, and the smite from Cat was a little bit early. Still, 3 more members down from SirKickButt. TF and Jinx have to mount the defense of a lifetime. Keep the rest of inside only from taking down these Nexus turrets.
It's not looking too good for SirKickButt as Jax goes 1v4.
Jax just wants more kills. He says, you know what, I could go for it, but I'm going to join Mystic Warrior. We're going to look to add more kills to our already overstacked lineup. We've got double-digit kills. Katarina probably going to go down once again. CC to death. Shyvana stepping forward. The True Shot Barrage just destroys her. Double binding from the Bard. Intra's dealing with a number of Baron up super minions that are just beating the TF down. Double kill for the Jax. Returns to tanky, though. Will return to the fountain to watch his Nexus explode. Inside only come out massive and destroy SirKickButt for game number 2.
Man. Jax did so much in that late game. Got that early advantage and just took off now 13-1 and 10 in that game. Jesus. That's a lot of damage threats.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff though. And to be fair, even though inside only definitely had the inside track when it came to damage and everything else, SirKickButt did at the very beginning of the game make a couple of plays of their own, especially Intra being joined by Coco in the mid lane, returned making a couple of plays on that top side, but it really, I think, started all off with Catinator, and he just ganked top lane over and over, setting TL Dark up so well, and Mystic Warrior said, I'm a one-man show, let me show you how a one-trick Katarina does work.
Yeah, super well across the board for inside only. I want to give a shout out. We can do MVP honorable shout outs right now if he wants to.
Yep, go ahead.
I'll start with Kick, but honorable mention going to Intra. Had some good stun setups. Doing fairly well in lane to begin with, but kind of took a turn for the worse when Catinator took over in those team fights. They lost a lot of kills over in those team fights that gave huge gold advantage to inside only. And then MVP for them is going to be returned. He was making some advantage for them in the top side, like I said before, getting that first turret while that team fight was happening and kills for himself and trying to stay even with the Jax. Did fairly well throughout the early to mid game, CSing fairly well, but too much to deal with there. So we're inside only honorable mention I'm gonna have to give to Mystic Warrior. He did the most damage in the game, so props for him there, playing super well. But MVP has to go to Catinator. Definitely set the ball roll. It got the ball rolling across the board for that team in those team fights with that seismic shove. I keep forgetting the name of it. Earth. His E.
Unraveled
anyway.
Earth.
Unraveled Earth. That's what it is. And set up the team for success. Got those gold advantages for Mystic and TL in those 2 lanes respectively. And then I want to give a shout out for that bot lane. It does Velato and you and Jared. In a tough lane matchup with that Blitzcrank, who applies a lot of pressure in lane, they did super well. Went basically even and got advantages where they got those couple kills. They got that kill in the beginning onto the Blitzcrank, I believe, and got another kill onto the Jinx, sorry, and then got more kills throughout that. But yeah, did super well in their lane. But yeah, good stuff overall from Inside Only.
Really quickly, because I just want to double check that I got these right. So Intra got honorable mention. Who got MVP for the side of SirKickButt?
Returned.
Congratulations to Returned. For the winning side, it was honorable mention Mystic Warrior and MVP Catinator, correct?
Yep.
Cool. Just want to make sure I got those all written down as I'm doing multiple things all at the same time. Pika Slayer, go again. Would love to. Definitely going to be able to get game number 3 here shortly. We're going to invite some of these people back. We're also going to get a bunch of people that haven't been able to play yet into these games as well. There's a handful of them, like Iron Hands. We're going to set that up. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy a Marbles game. We'll be right back for game number 3. If you're interested in playing, make sure that you use the !join with your in-game